Since the start of 2022, Dusan Vlahovic has joined Juventus for £63 million. Erling Haaland has followed in his father's footsteps with a £51 million move to Manchester City, and Liverpool have completed an £85 million deal for Darwin Núñez. That means the three most prolific under-23 forwards in top-flight European football are no longer on the market. Meanwhile, Kylian Mbappe has re-signed with PSG, and the most prolific forward, Robert Lewandowski, has his heart set on Barcelona. So, who should your club sign instead? We've created 3 different striker templates: target forwards, support strikers, and pure poachers, and selected some under-the-radar options for every budget. Plenty of sides play with target forwards, big bodies in attack that win long balls, challenge for crosses, and also bring on-rushing teammates into play. Think Olivier Giroud. So, after selecting 5 key metrics: non-penalty expected goals, flick-ons, headed shots, aerial duels won, and fouls won, and filtering out any player under 6 foot tall, here's our shortlist. To warm up, we start with Serhou Guirassy, the 6'2" Guinea international who helped Rennes finish 4th in Ligue 1. Despite racking up just 1,000 minutes in 21-22, he was involved in all but one game, averaging 3.4 aerial duels won and 0.9 headed shots per 90. Across Europe's top 6 leagues, only Robert Lewandowski could better his 0.82 non-penalty expected goals per 90. Enes Unal, perhaps a more familiar name, averaged 4.7 aerial duels and 4.39 flick-on attempts for Getafe in La Liga. The 25-year-old also scored a very impressive 14 non-penalty goals from 8.23 XG, the largest overperformance in the Spanish top flight, and a major reason why the Madrid-based side avoided relegation. Signed to replace Burnley-bound Wout Weghorst in January, you would be forgiven for assuming the 6'3" Jonas Wind is a conventional target man. Interestingly, the Dane has been deployed across the entire front line and even in support of a traditional centre-forward due to his technical prowess and ability to bring others into play. The 23-year-old's profile matches what we are looking for, but it's his versatility that makes him an even more fascinating option. If you're looking for a gigantic human, Sasa Kaladzic is your man. At 6'6", the Austrian international is a fiend in the air with a ridiculous 1.33 headed shots per 90. He also averaged more layoffs per 90 than any other player during the 21-22 Bundesliga season, and at just 24, he could develop into the perfect wall pass. Vangelis Pavlidis had what can only be described as a breakout season in 21-22. He joined RZ from Willem II a year ago and scored 14 goals in 30 Eredivisie games thereafter. The 23-year-old Greek international ticks all of our boxes, but also looks to be a real all-round forward who someone very smart is going to sign soon. Based on our methodology, only Sebastian Aller profiled as a better target forward match than Galatasaray's Mustafa Mohamed. It's easy to get excited about the 6'1" Egyptian's underlying numbers, but any prospective club might want to see him leading the line for a full season before taking a punt. The final name to mention is Ivan Toney. Although not under the radar in terms of reputation, given the fact he is now a Premier League staple, it might not be long until a top 6 club makes an inquiry at Brentford. After all, it always pays to have an ice-cold penalty taker in your ranks as well. Support striker. Since Pep Guardiola and Lionel Messi popularised the false 9, what used to be strictly second strikers or even attacking midfielders can now be deployed up front by themselves or in tandem with a teammate. This shortlist is stacked with pressing and passing themes. Some key metrics cross over, such as layoffs, expected assists and passes into the box, but we've added possessions won in the final third, take-ons attempted, and through balls to uncover some gems if you can't sign the 21-22 poster boy of this role, Christopher Nkunku. Unfortunately, go-ahead of the curve Eagles have already snapped up one of our suggestions. Finn Stokkers finished the 21-22 Eredivisie campaign on fire with 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 5 games for RKC Waalwijk. Always looking to bring his teammates into play, his penchant for layoffs and through balls make him the perfect candidate. Luckily, Waalwijk was also home to Jens Odegaard last season. On loan from Sassuolo, the Dane has the physical profile of a target forward, but his chance creation and volume of dribbling suggests he would thrive in this support role. With Gianluca Scamacca a target forward and Giacomo Raspadori a support striker in his own right, both attracting attention, perhaps Odegaard will finally spend a season in Italy before becoming sought after in his own right. Relying solely on the data, Lucas Paqueta was the best rated match. Despite playing behind Moussa Dembele for the most part, the Brazilian has been used as a centre forward for both club and country and could be fully converted. Remember, Roberto Firmino played in a more reserved role for Hoffenheim before thriving as the false nine in Jurgen Klopp's system. Any team with pacey wide forwards might look to Paqueta to be the man to unleash their full goal-scoring potential. Speaking of Hoffenheim, Jorginho Rutter is a name you must immediately make a note of. The 20-year-old plays as one half of a strike duo and finished as his club's top scorer in the Bundesliga in 21-22, owing in part to his complete lack of a weak foot. In truth, the Frenchman is so well-rounded that you could also make a case for him as a candidate for our next category, goal-getter. Sometimes all you want is a player to hang off the shoulder of the last defender and stick the ball in the back of the net. An obsession with getting into goal-scoring positions is key. To find these players, we highlighted shots from one-on-ones, non-penalty expected goals, touches inside the opposition box, conversion rate, and, interestingly, offsides, rewarding higher numbers. Because in this case, we wanted to find the forwards that live on the edge, those that are consistently seeking to break the offside trap. And if you're still in doubt about why we've included it, let's just say Darwin Núñez is caught offside a fair amount. It's affirming to know that the likes of Núñez, Haaland and Lewandowski all appear on the first page of this shortlist, as did Patrick Schick, who recently signed a new long-term contract with Bayer Leverkusen. Victor Osimhen and Tammy Abraham also represent premium options from Serie A, but let's dive a little deeper. Moussa Dembele stands out after scoring 21 goals for a decaying Lyon side, profiting from the Lucas Paqueta link-up play we mentioned earlier. In fact, his 0.67 non-penalty XG per 90 was greater than both Haaland and Darwin Núñez. Raul de Tomàs may play with his initials on the back of his shirt, but don't let that put you off. The Spaniard is a lethal finisher, bagging 17 goals in an awful Espanyol side that only just avoided relegation. The only player to score against each of La Liga's top 3 teams in 21-22, maybe it's time he played for a bigger club. Moving across the border to Portugal, 22-year-old Brazilian Evanilson had himself a great season, bagging 14 times to leave him second top scorer for champions Porto. No player had more shots from 1v1 situations in the Primeira Liga, indicating how often he's in a great goal-scoring position. Porto's top scorer though, Mehdi Taremi. The 29-year-old Persian icon scored 20 times, 0.74 per 90, and both players could be on the market as Porto's players always are. Over in the Netherlands, 22-year-old Lois Apenda had a breakout season, jumping from 10 league goals in 2021 to 19 in his second loan spell with Vitesse. Always attacking space and getting better at doing so, his form earned him a couple of Belgium caps, put him in a better side, and he could explode. Union Berlin secured their best ever Bundesliga finish, and the explosive Taiwo Awoniyi was a major reason why. The Nigerian striker's first professional club was actually Liverpool, but he never made an appearance for the Reds. After a decent loan spell in the German capital last season, Awoniyi exploded once making a permanent switch and continues to display the hallmarks of a relentless goal-getter. So, which centre forwards do you want your club to sign? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more transfer shortlists coming soon.